Your claim that you the bigger name is why we got all this shame in the game. We ain't got nobody but us to blame. Doing sports talk worldwide here with a little boxing. So you know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, Amir Khan, Canelo Alvarez, right? These guys, right, are the bigger names, right? And I just think it's a shame. It's a shame. It's destroying the game. It destroys how they're thinking about themselves. Amir Khan especially feels entitled. For some reason, they have fans behind them that will not demand decent things for them in the fight game. I don't care what they do outside of the ring because Khan does a lot of good things outside of the ring. It's documented. That's cool. We're not talking about that. We're talking about in the ring, you know. Khan is right now him in the Brook scenario. He's telling Brook, hey, if you fight your mandatory Errol Spence, then we can have a 50-50 split, which seems like a good statement. Right now, this one makes a little sense to me a little bit. This is one that makes sense. Kell Brook, fight your mandatory. If you beat Errol Spence, you're going to have some serious momentum. You can have 50-50. The problem I'm having with it is a week ago, it was 70-30 for Khan, knowing well that Brook's not going to accept a 70-30 split with you guys because Brook is the champion still. He's the IBF champion. You're not. You haven't done anything of significance. The last thing is what, 2014, albeit the end of 2014 against Devin Alexander. You were dominant in that match. Every other match, Diaz, Madonna, even Chris Algieri, you've been stumbling. You were hurt bad. There's a lot of excess baggage in those fights. You need to readdress all of those fights. And I'm missing some. Just trying to condense this video real quick. He's not entitled to any fights. He shouldn't be mandatory, in my opinion, for anybody. He needs to fight somebody himself, Amir Khan. So offering Brooks 70-30, I think 60-40 would have been a little bit better for Khan because a bigger name does mean something. But should he be the bigger name? Not really. But Khan does has a point when talking about Brook has only Sean Porter on his resume, right? He only has Sean Porter on his resume. He doesn't have anybody. All these other mandatories, he was quick to fight them. Jojo Dan, Kevin Bizier, and I'm missing one of them, right? It'll probably come to me. But Jojo Dan, Bizier, those are guys he were fighting, right? Guys like that. And he has no names on his resume except for Sean Porter. Now, Khan back in the day had told him, look, when you go get a name, then we'll fight. Go get a name on your resume. Then he told him also, go get a title. Then we could probably fight. And Kell Brook did both of those things, right? So now they both went up in weight. And before they come down, well, Khan comes down to 147. And he said, well, Brook, if you come to 147, then we'll fight. Knowing that Brook didn't really want to. He had made it public that he was having problems. And he would probably stay at 154. Khan didn't think that Brook would come down. Brook said, I will come down back and wait to fight you. Then Khan comes with the 70-30 argument, which he knew he wasn't going to do. And now he has the argument of if you go beat Errol Spence, then we can go 50-50. These things are obviously showing that Khan just does not want to lose to Kell Brook. It's a British thing, right? These guys have been going at it for years, and I think he just fears to lose to him. He can lose to somebody else, but not him. He keeps moving the goalpost every time we get close to negotiations to make Brook have to do something. Whereas, what is he going to do? I've said it before. So that's where the problem is. In the meantime, think about this. Has anybody thought about this? And I'm asking Khan fans this. For Khan fans, you got the Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman fight popping off, right? So wouldn't it be wonderful if Khan fought Brook, right? In the meantime, they fight, and Khan comes out of that fight. He would have a title. He would have momentum. And then he could go into the negotiations against the winner of that fight with his head held up high and his chest stuck out, right? But the problem is his head's already held up high and his chest is stuck out without doing stuff. That's the problem, right? But normally, in a perfect world, he would want to get Kell Brook on his ledger to go into the negotiations to maybe even unify the division. But he's not thinking about that because he's entitled, right? Now, don't let me get started on Khan. This video will be too long. Let me tell you, but Canelo Alvarez is similar. These people have people behind them who don't ask them to do things. Now, Canelo, we know he fought in his own weight for 3 fights at 155. Like, we can't find one at one, can't find a division at 154. We can't find a division at 160. We're gonna make our own division. My fans are gonna follow me anyway, which is ludicrous, but they do. Whatever. We got enough divisions. Find one. But okay. Then there's a guy at 160 who he just couldn't seem to want to fight. Then who knows, back and forth, but he didn't go up to 160 to do that, even though he had the title, right? So he gives the title up and goes back to 154 and fights the easiest, by far easiest champion in Leon Smith, right? And then now he doesn't want to stay there. Where all of these wonderful champions are there who are all willing to fight him, and no one is telling him to do so. So he goes up and he can go fight Chavez, and he's calling all the shots. Got Chavez has to come at 164.5. Man ain't fought under 168. Has problems making 168. But Canelo's the bigger name because they have people following behind him blindly and won't ever ask him to do anything. I know brothers in the industry like, man, I wish I had it like that. Let a brother do something like that. Avoid all these fighters. And we don't have to wait. Brothers will be on him. There's something about us. We don't play that just because someone looks like us. We don't play that. It doesn't matter where they're from. If you guys want good fights, if it's the Mexican community, I understand that the Canelo Alvarez fight versus Chavez Jr. is a Mexican affair, but neither one of these guys are the best in their division. Canelo barely has a division, but if he was in 154, he would not be the best. He would have a lot to prove there. I think I'll rate him about fourth, right? I rate him about 4. On a good day, third. But I don't know who I'm putting him in front. You want me to mention names again? The Charlo brothers. That's 2 of them. Demetrius Andrade, who nobody wants to fight. And we saw what happened against Erislandy Lara, right? There's some Trout issues with the open scoring in San Antonio. J-Rock, right? And I'm missing some. Jack Colcott, for crying out loud. Whatever. There's a lot of things that needed to be done in the 154-pound division. Right? Totally ignored. Right? And so we're never going to pass up 160, go up to 164. We've never even been at 160 to fight someone who's going to be weight drained. Right? And because it's a Mexican affair, we're going to act like this is not a sideshow. Now, they're selling it where Chavez Jr. is going to really train hard because no one wants to lose this fight. Okay, you can sell it like that and whatever. But there's a lot of fighters in those divisions that would love a shot at that and would love all of this attention that they're getting, right? It's incredible for those fighters, right? And Amir Khan, the same thing over there, asking people to do this and do that and do this because he's the bigger name. So, at the end of the day, it's a shame that these guys are the bigger names, right? And us fans, we have to change the demands, right? No matter where they are, where they're from, if it's your countrymen, you go for them. There's no problem about it. But you still have to ask your countrymen to do things of significance because you guys are the ones that your countrymen will listen to. They're not going to be listening to someone else that's not because they're going to consider that hate, right? They're not going to consider it constructive criticism, which it is. It's just only being fair to the other guys that are fighting because some guys are gifted titles or are gifted, all these accolades. And the best fighters are being ignored, and hope they don't know about them, and that's why I continue to mention it. So to sum it up, Amir Khan and Canelo Alvarez, it's a shame that you guys are the bigger names. Period. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here.